Good morning, everyone. It's Sal Post. How you all doing? I hope you're all doing well and everyone is keeping absolutely fine and dandy. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Now, before I start, please may I ask a simple request, a very simple request. If you could kindly smash a like on the video and subscribe to the video, that would be absolutely perfect. I would really appreciate that, guys. We are close to 3,000 subscribers, really close. About 16 more subscribers, we reached that milestone of 3,000. So I have nothing but gratitude towards you guys. I've been smashing a like, who have been subscribing to the channel. Absolutely wonderful people. Thank you so much. Now, let's get right into it. Let's delve into the world of Manchester United again, as we have another news filled show in regards to our great club. Now, let me just read through. Kenny, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. As long as Glazers are here, these players demanding to stay at the club, obviously going to happen, sadly. And this is exactly what I'm going to get into today in regards to Manchester United and the Glazers regime. Now, for many months, I was a full sell only man, basically fighting for the full sell in regards to Manchester United. This full sell did not happen. Obviously, Ineos took charge of the club at 27% ownership of Manchester United, not an ownership, but percentage. But that meant the Glazers would stay in charge of Manchester United. And throughout the months, I was on Qatar television, I went on Qatar social media, and I was talking about how beneficial it would be for Manchester United to have a full sale and get rid of the Glazers, the vermin that is the Glazers that have been there for so many years now. 20 years we've had this ownership. Now, I didn't mind. I didn't care if it was Apple, if it was Amazon, whoever it was, even if it was Ineos taking 100% of the club. I just wanted us to sell the club. And the reason I wanted to sell the club is because situations that have just occurred this last 24 hours in regards to Ugarte. Now, we have problems in regards to players not wanting to leave, and this is becoming an issue at Manchester United. Of course, certain players just don't want to leave, and they have lack of ambition, and they are harming our future prospects. Players like Scott McTominay, players like Maguire, players like Lindelof. These players are holding us back. And unfortunately, until these players leave, we cannot buy anyone. And this is exactly what I've been saying for the last few months. Whether Ineos have money or they don't, prove it. Prove it then. Get Ugarte. Get the money in. Why are you walking away from the Ugarte deal? The money's 50 million. Why are you walking away? Get rid of players like Mctominay. Get rid of players like Lindelof. Get rid of players like Maguire. Get rid of players like Pellistri. And then we can move on, can't we, at the end of the day? But it's the same old, just like every single season in regards to Glazers, the Glazer ownership. It's the same thing. It feels the same. There is no difference at all. Irfan, good morning. I am very sick. I feel sick as well, Irfan. The news I heard this morning, we hope that it isn't. We hope we're just calling their bluff. We do hope that they are calling their bluff, but at the moment it doesn't look good. And this is typical of the Glazer regime. Remember, the Glazers are still in charge of Manchester United, and this we have to remember. People are getting giddy about Ineos. I told these men about Ineos, and at the end of the day, as long as the Glazers, nothing actually to do with Ineos. It's the fact that the Glazers are still in charge. But if Ineos were not there, we would have had a full sale, as I said, and we would have been in a much better position. Certain players like a McTominay, Lindelof and Maguire, contracts would have been bought out and they would have left the club completely. We cannot even afford to buy out players. Players like, I want to prove myself, I want to stay and fight for my place. You're not good enough, mate. No one, people don't call you Scooby-Doo for nothing. You're not good enough. It's time we moved on. Manchester United players need to leave if they want to have first in football, if they want to have ambitions for themselves. Now, that would mean we will have a midfield of McTominay, of Casemiro. Of course, we have the great Mainu, who's the only one I really say is, a mainstay in that team. But Casemiro and McTominay got a lot of work to do next season. I'm really worried about that midfield, because at the end of the day, the midfield is the engine of the team. And we don't have a proper engine. We have a Ford Escort engine in this, a 1986 Ford engine in our midfield, mate. And then Luck, Harry, Anthony, Sancho, Mount, Casemiro out. They will not leave, my friend, fan. They are mercenaries. They will not leave. They're harming our future prospects. And I'm going to say it like this. I have nothing against Manchester United players. When they wear that great shirt, I will support them all the way when on the pitch. But if they're harming us and our future prospects, I will call it out, because at the end of the day, I feel that some of those players need to leave. McTominay, he needs to leave. He's just not good enough. You're getting a nick a goal here and there. That is not the way to play football, where you're desperately throwing a player on up front, trying to nick a goal. They need desperation players. We need players that can change the tempo of a game, who can dominate a game in midfield. That's what we need. We don't have players who can dominate a midfield. We don't have players who can keep the ball. We don't have players who are open to give me the ball. He hides. The only one is Mainu. He's the only one who wants the ball. The rest of them don't. Player power. Yeah, good morning, Undermire Dylan. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Player power still existing. That's so pathetic. We have unambitious players who are uncomfortable for my liking. We should be keeping players on their toes to create that competitive environment. Spot on. And players should have the ambition. If they're not going to play football, they should be like, I want to leave. Just like Kambwala did. That's why I applaud Kambwala, because Kambwala at least left and went and searching for first team football, despite being offered more money at Manchester United. Dean, good morning, my friend. How you doing, mate? Dean Boy 99. I'm still giving Ineos the benefit of the doubt. If by the end of the window we haven't had a transfer window, then things will be different. I have to remember there's FFP, unfortunately. Exactly, there's FFP, unfortunately, but the key is here. FFP does play a role, but when players don't want to leave, they need to just go. They need to be shipped out of the club. Their contracts paid off. Goodbye, sayonara. That's what they need to do at the end of the day. But Manchester United seem unable to get rid of players, and it just seems like the same old. If we cannot get rid of players, how can we make money? If Chelsea are going and spending 1 billion in 1 year, how comes we can't even spend 50? I know why. We're still a billion in debt because of the Glazer ownership. We're a billion in debt. We cannot afford anything because of the Glazer ownership. That's why we wanted a full sale. That's why we wanted Glazers out. That's why we didn't want Ineos in their 27 point whatever percentage. This is why. Because at the end of the day, if Qatar to charge of Manchester United would be in a better place. It is no doubt about it. They would have paid off those contracts and got rid of those players. But as you said, Ineos, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Yes, we're not going to jump on the bandwagon and start saying Ineos out. We're not. But they have got a lot of work to do this next 2 weeks. If it comes to the start of the season, then yeah, we're going to start stressing out and we're going to start saying, look, come on, we need to Champions League with Manchester United. But that's a good point, Dean. Yeah, we do not get overreact. We don't. But we have to point out the errors of our ways. We always have to do that. And at the end of the day, Ineos have a lot of work to do. I've listed the players that need to go out and players that need to go in. There's so many at the moment. Man United needs Spain player, not like a Rodri. Man United should go after Zubimendi. As I said, if they cannot get Ugarte, they need Zubimendi. But Zubimendi is a 50 million release clause. If we cannot afford Ugarte, why are we going to get Zubimendi? It just doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, if we cannot even afford 50 million, where the hell are we? Scott McTominay is holding us back. Players like that, Maguire, are holding us back. Lindelof are holding us back. They're sitting on the way thinking, I'm not leaving. I'm going to run out my contract. That's what they're doing at the end of the day. And that's what I don't like about these players. I want them to search for first team football. Because they're earning money, they're thinking about their pockets. They're not thinking about the football clubs. They're millionaires already as well. They're already millionaires, and they're still crying about pennies and money in their bank account. They need to leave for first team football and let Man United move on, for goodness sake. They're like an obsessive partner. They're crazy, absolutely attached to the club, and they're holding us back. If they had any care about the club, they would leave the club. McTominay is unambitious. He doesn't have the guts. He doesn't have the courage to leave the club, because he knows elsewhere he will get swallowed up. We are a very caring, very loving, very nostalgic fan base who care for our own. That's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, we need to win trophies. We need to challenge for the title. We're the biggest club in the world. We need to remember that. We always have to remember that. We need these players to go and us to challenge for titles. That's what we need. And I put myself on a hill there saying that we're going to challenge for this title. At the moment, they're really proving me wrong. Really proving me wrong at the moment, this Ineos. And at the end of the day, we need these players out the door. They need to be put in that office and say, look, mate, you need to leave the club. you're not going to play next season. We need to move on. So we're going to accept an offer for you. Could you go to a West Ham? Could you go to a Fulham? Could you go to a Spurs, etc.? No FFP via Man United one year for 1 billion. Exactly, mate. There are ways around FFP. FFP for me is just an excuse for the Glazers to use. It's just an excuse, and I'm not having it anymore. Yes, I have mentioned FFP, but I'm not having this anymore. I'm not having this FFP rubbish all the time. FFP. Are we the only ones who scream FFP? FFP. It's because they don't want to spend any money. Why not go out there and sell some players? Why not go out there and do your job, Ineos? You are there to sell players. You are there to negotiate. You're there to make players go, leave. But you're not at the end of the day. Yes, we have got 2 weeks till the window ends, and I still believe you can retrieve this window. You can. But we need a midfield enforcer in there. If we get a Delict to Mazaruri, happy days, that's great. But where's our midfield? We need a midfield there. We're not asking for the world. We're not asking for a striker, a winger. We're not asking for a left back, even though we need one. We're not asking for a left-sided centre back, even though we need one. We're just asking for a bloody midfield enforcer. That's what we need. And we've needed that for years, and we still haven't got one, have we? We've got a player who's unfit, a mercenary in Casemiro, who's on 350 grand a week, who want not leave. Saudi Arabia do not want to pay the money from him because even they feel he's too slow. And at the end of the day, we've got Mctominay, who goes missing in games, who's only good for throwing on in the last 10 minutes to grab an equaliser or something when we're struggling. But if we had great players, we wouldn't be struggling in these games, would we? We'll have a Zubamendi who can dictate the game, wouldn't it? It's mad. Fermin Lopez, yes, mate. Another one, another good one. Anyone, mate. Any bloody one, apart from these players we've got at the end of the day. I'm fed up. Good morning, Mishek. What's wrong with Ugarte's transfer? As I said, Manchester United are walking away from the transfer because they do not want to pay the transfer fee. They cannot sell players, so they do not have the money. And PSG are not playing ball in regards to loans, etc. They want a straight up fee, which is crazy. The deal, I feel, is not completely out of the woods. We can still retrieve the deal, but Manchester United are really, really struggling to get this deal over the line. He has agreed personal terms with Manchester United, and we still can't get the deal over the line because we're not paying the transfer fee. At the end of the day, we cannot afford 50 million. Where are we as a football club? We've made 70 million in transfers already this summer, and we still can't afford money for that. We got Yoro out now, so we're in trouble, mate. Honestly, so I'd rather United become the greatest club in the world instead of the biggest club in the world. Yeah, that's a good point, Chow. It's all about results, my friend. It is all about results. We need to become who we are, which is results on the pitch and the biggest club in the world. We need to be the biggest club in the world. That's who we are. We are the biggest club in the world. Now, we have to be paid. There is 2 weeks of this window left. Now, we don't want to sit here and say, oh, Ineos are this, Ineos are that. We're going to chuck them out. Let's get them out. No, we are giving them a warning that we are aware of what's going on and we know what we need. We need this. We need at least a midfield enforcer in there. We have sold Greenwood, right? We've sold certain players and we've made 70 million. Where is this money? Where is this money gone? We need to know where it is, and we need these players in. You bought Yoro, great. Xerxes, great. Now, what else? We need a midfielder there, don't we? We also need another defender. Now, it would have been fine if Yoro didn't get injured. These are luck at the end of the day. This is luck at the end of the day. But we still need a squad capable of coping with these injuries. We're not going to start the season with Evans or Lindelof or Maguire. We do not need that again, my friends. But why are we not selling players right now? Yes, exactly, Michelle. We're not selling players because these players do not want to leave because they are mercenaries and they're happy to sit on a contract so their contracts run out. And this is the problem Man United are having now. If they were savvy, if they were ruthless, Manchester United would get those players into the office and say, look, mate, you're not going to play next season. I'm going to put you in the reserves unless you don't leave the club. That's the sort of mentality Manchester United need. They need to threaten these players saying that if you do not leave, there's the door. There's the youth team. You're going to play in the youth team. You're not going to play in the first team. You're not going to play. If you're thinking about your future aspirations, then that's it. If you're jeopardizing Manchester United's future in regards to transfers, you're going to play in the reserves. That's how they need to do it. It's sad, but that's the way to do it because they're not leaving. They don't want to leave. And this is the problem. And these players, they're clinging on for dear life. They're like, oh, it's like Phil Jones. Look how long Phil Jones stayed at Man United. How long did he stay at Man United? How many games did he miss as well? It's madness. How this only happens with our club. And this is thanks to the Glazers and those bumper contracts that they gave them. Those bumper $1 million contracts that they gave these players. Too much money. Giving these players too much money for underachievement. And it ain't only about the money. Of course, it's about the social media presence that they get from playing for Manchester United. The the exposure they get for playing for Manchester United, that's what they want. That's all they care about. They don't care about the club. They don't care about our future aspirations. They're not Gary Neville or Eric Cantona who called it quits when they couldn't play anymore. They're not like these players who sacrificed themselves for the team because they couldn't play anymore. Eric Cantona left. Eric Cantona was goddamn just hitting 30. He's leaving Manchester United, 27 years old. The man is leaving Manchester United. Yeah, because he knew he couldn't do a good job for the club. That is what I call a Manchester United legend. That is what I call a Manchester United a DNA. That's what it is. I will not harm the club if I am not playing well. If I cannot give a shift, I am not going to play for this club. At the end of the day, we got too many of these soft Nancy's who come in and they're like, oh, I want to stay to the end of my contract and sit on my contract. I got so much. I get this much money from Man United. Why am I going to go to Fulham and earn this much? I'm just going to sit on my contract. So F the fans. That's exactly how they feel. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about us. Fan or Man United have to play young players like Harry Amas. Yeah, Man United do have to look like delving into Harry Amas. Look, the left back position is fine. I like Harry Amas, and the left back position is covered. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the midfield. I'm worried about midfield. The midfield is the engine of the team, and we needed Ugarte in that team. You know, we needed that sort of player. Are we going to get a Zubimendi? I would be very surprised, because at the end of the day, if they can't, we needed two midfielders, right? Let's remember this. Let's scroll it back to the other streams. We needed two midfielders, Zubimendi and Ugarte, for goodness sake. We needed both of them. And we can't even get one through the door. And this is what's concerning for me. And this is as a warning to Ineos. They cannot be doing these Glazer things, because these are the Glazer things. But do I blame Ineos? Do I blame it? When I look, when I sit back and I reflect, do I blame Ineos? No, I don't. As much. I just believe it's the Glazers. Glazers are signing the checks. They're the ones who have to give the all clear. They own the majority of the club. So it is the Glazers again, isn't it? But then again, you say, on the other hand, why did Ineos buy the club then for 27%? Why did they end up buying the club if they couldn't afford players? It's the same thing, isn't it? They should have just left the club. We would have had the full sale. We would have had the Glazers out. We would have cleared the debt. And we would have been fine with FFP, because we would have had a clean slate, a completely clean slate. And we would have been able to buy the contracts out of these players and get rid of these players. We would have been able to accept very, very low fees for these players and get rid of them. But nah, we wanted to get 27% because the Glazers are greedy. Let's look through these comments. Let's have a look. Let's start from there. Undeniable Dinnan, Castle playing as a holding midfielder for us. We might as well forfeit our matches. He's clearly giving 3 points to Fulham, Liverpool, Brighton. A leopard doesn't change its spots. Casemiro is it. It's not only him, mate. It's Mctominay as well. Players like that who just won't leave. Mctominay would have given us 100% profit in regards to money coming into the club, in regards to a transfer to wherever he would have went to. All that money would have went towards our transfer fee, because he comes from the youth team. Casemiro wouldn't have. So McTominay is the biggest issue, that he won't leave. He will not be sold. He said, I don't want to leave. I want to prove myself. What are you going to prove, mate? As you said, you can't teach a leopard. You can't change the leopard's spots on the leopard. And you're not going to improve McTominay. That goes with that as well. You cannot make him turn into Zinedine Zidane. You know, mixed sauce, my backside. Yeah. Why are we playing that worth that price? He is Casemiro 0.20. At the end of the day, we have so many players in our squad right now who are just not good enough. And at the end of the day, we cannot seem to ship them out. And if we can't ship them out, how can we progress? This is the problem. We need to progress. If we cannot ship these players out, we're going to end up with these players again in another mediocre season. You know, another mediocre season. We don't want that next season. We want new players in. We want a new structure. We thought this is going to be a new dawn of a new day, didn't we? We thought this was going to be a new dawn of a new day. But no, these players just don't want to leave. We all do the greatest. Alex, we are the greatest. This is why we have to act like the greatest. Do you know what I mean? Good morning, Alex, by the way. But we have to act like the greatest, don't we? You know, at the end of the day, we are the greatest. But at the end of the day, we're a Ferrari with a full escort engine at the moment. And full escort engine is our ownership. We will suffer that Elderwood. He is the reason we can't sell these players. The Deadwood is the reason we will suffer that Elderwood. he is the reason we can't sell these players. There's a lot of reasons we can't sell these players, and that one of the main reasons is the mercenaries that sit in our football club at the moment looking to run down their contracts, and they don't want to play. They don't care about playing or not. They're just happy to run down their contracts. They need to move on and look for pastures new. Move on. Oyedele, it's time to play CDM. Yeah, I agree with that. It's going to be no choice but us to give these young players an opportunity. I don't want to see these players playing anymore. I don't want to see Mctominay in that side. I would rather us give players like Oyedele chances than give Mctominay another chance to play crap. Do you know what I mean? As it's been proven. Will Fish be a centre-back good? Fish is okay. I don't think he's quite there in regards to what we need. He's a decent player. I prefer Rice Bennett. Rice Bennett for me is a good player, solid, composed on the ball. He was injured last season. He would have played some games, but he was injured last season, and typical, isn't it? And he didn't get to play any games. But I would like to see Rice Bennett given a chance, Oyedele to given a chance. I would like to see Collier to given a chance as well. Piers are trying to lowball us. It's better to leave. It's better to leave, but at the end of the day, have a backup plan. Have a backup plan. They ain't got a backup plan. Go and get Zubimendi then. Go and get Zubimendi. 50 million release clause. Buy Zubimendi. Shut us all up, basically. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. Prove us wrong. Go and get Zubimendi. 50 million release clause. Go and get him. He's available. Go and get him. Ciao. If Jim is truly a United fan, he should not have entered the race to invest in Man United. He just wants to be a co-owner of this club. Exactly as we said, us lot, we said it was a vanity project. It is a vanity project. So Jim is in his late 70s. He just wanted something to say, put his name on it, put Snapdragon on the stadium, Ineos on the stadium, and that's what he wanted. At the end of the day, I'm not going to completely turn against Jim because they started well in this transfer window, but they got a lot to work to do within the next 2 weeks. If it's a day before the Fulham game and we haven't had any transfers in, or we haven't had any good news, then I'm not going to sit here and praise Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I'm going to criticise Jim Ratcliffe. But we did say this, as you could scroll back on my tweets, etc. We did say over the months and even a year that we do need a full sale. And we don't care if it's Amazon, we don't care if it's Apple, we don't even care if it's Walker's Crisps. We just wanted a full sale. That's what we wanted. We wanted these Glazers out of the club, and that's what was important. Good morning, Kingdom. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Will Fish needs a loan, in my opinion. Yeah, he's been on loan at Hibernian. He's been on loan at a couple of clubs. Hibernian 2 years in a row, I believe he has been. So I'm not sure whether he will play, to be honest with you, next season. Undeniable, Dylan. Everything is a total mess right now. The fact that we are going to play Man City with Yoro, who's injured, and Joshua Zirkzee, the one who's already knew apart from that last season. Or the team, we didn't work at all. Yeah, apart from Zirkzee, he's the only one who's new in that team. Exactly, it is not good enough. At the end of the day, 2 players signing is not good enough. We needed 5 or 6 signings, not 2. Back like 1999 young player. Yeah, back like 1995 actually. Yeah, 1995, 96. When we brought through the youngsters and you couldn't win anything with kids thing, we're going to have to do that again. But I would stress that young team that came through in 1995, 96 had Peter Schmeichel, winner. Had Gary Pallister, Steve Bruce, winners. Had Roy Keane, winner. Had Eric Cantona, winner. Had Ryan Giggs, winner. We have no winners in that team. All the only influence we got in that team, we got Marcus Rashford, for goodness sake. What's Marcus Rashford going to teach these young players? To go clubbing in Belfast, he's not going to teach them anything. We don't have any winners. We don't have any winners in there. We have a bunch of underachievers. That's what we have. And if we have a bunch of underachievers, what does that mean? It's going to resonate towards the young players as well, and they're going to be underachieving. Too much deadwoods. Yeah. Good morning, Invisibile. What's going on? I hope you're well. Thank you for joining the stream. Yes. At the end of the day, it's too much deadwood, and these are the deadwoods that are holding us back. And this is the problem that we have at Manchester United at the moment. That the players do not want to leave. I want to hold on. I want to fight for my place. I want to prove myself next season. What are you going to prove, mate? What are you going to prove? They're just waiting for the window to close. They're waiting for the window to close so we cannot sell them, right? And then they're like, I'll just be my normal self again. It's pathetic. It's getting on my nerves. These players need to leave the club. They're some of the worst players to ever have worn the shirt. I have not seen a player as bad as Manchester United and Mctominay in the first team for 40 years supporting this club, right? 40 years, right? You can say, you can bring on other players who have not played. I'm talking about first team players here, first team squad players. When I think about the great midfields of Manchester United, I've not seen anything as bad. FIFA and football with Masiga. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Let's be real. Ugarte ain't worth that money. PSG were wanting to make profit on the player who has been a bench crazy. Mate, we could say that. We could say that. That's all well and good. Let's walk away from the deal. That's okay. But at the end of the day, where's the replacement? If you don't want Ugarte, where's the replacement? Who are you going to get then? Who are you going to get? Because at the end of the day, we're not walking away. If we walk away, let's go for Zubimendi then. Let's go for a Veerman even. Let's go for it then. Let's get these players. I mean, for goodness sake, I would have even preferred Conor Gallagher to Scott McTominay. For goodness, he's gone to Atletico Madrid. At the end of the day, where is our backup plan? And that's what I'm asking. Charles, Jim is trying to buy Barcelona, Chelsea, and he was a Chelsea season ticket holder. Yes, mate, exactly, holder. And also, he is not even living in the UK. And he's a tax evader, exactly. But the thing is, I said this many months. I said this for a year. We've been saying this for so long. Why we didn't want Jim Ratcliffe? It's nothing personal. It was nothing personal. We just wanted someone who loved the club. We wanted to bring the club forward. We didn't want a vanity project. But I'm going to give them 2 weeks to see what they can do before the Fulham game. Time is of an essence. Time is running out. Time is not our friend. Yeah, Gallagher will do well at Atletico. I think he's a good player for them. The way they play, I think he's a good player. Slow style. So I think he's a good player for them. Good for them. Onana's got a big season ahead of him. He's got to cut out these mistakes within his game. He has too many mistakes in his locker, and I don't like the fact that he has these mistakes in his locker. He's got to change that about his game, in my opinion. He's got to stop it with the mistakes. If he starts making mistakes next season, then we're in problem again, and we have to look for another keeper at the end of the day. Let's read some of these private chats. I understand owning Mctominay at United one more season. His contract is up by next year. His contract's up by next year, my friend, but Mctominay will get a contract, 1 year option of a 1 year extension, which is not good at the end of the day. We don't want that. He needs to go now. We need to make money from him. This is why we need to make money from McTominay. But McTominay is like, I don't want to leave because I want to prove myself. It's selfish at the end of the day. It's selfish. There are links to João Gomez and Andre. We hope we can get, mate, there are links to everyone and anyone under the sun. The Glazers are going to do their spin, of course, that we are after other players. Then prove it. Prove that we are after other players. Go and get those players. Stop. I just want them to stop talking about these players and go and get them. Stop moving. Like, we've done well. We bought Xerxes. We got Yoro in, but then what? It just went, just paused. Like, it just paused, and we lost the remote control. We can't restart it. The undeniable Dylan. We need passionate players who are going to play for the badge. I respect Bruno. He is a passionate guy. Always want to win. Lifts the team spirit. Yes, we need more players like Bruno. We need more winners like Bruno. And this is why I feel sorry for Bruno, because he's been attacked unfairly last season. Bruno is a fantastic model professional. He loves the club and he puts his all every single game. Even if he has a small injury, he is playing. That's what we need. We've got players who get a scratch and they're missing for 6 months. That's what we have. We have the wrong mentality in that club. And that's the problem what we have at the moment, the wrong mentality. It's crazy how these players get away with it year in, year out, and they get new contracts and they stay year in, year out. There's many players there that should have left ages ago. Maguire should have been gone ages ago. Lindelof should have been gone ages ago. These players should have just been gone, and Ericsson, his legs are gone as well. We've got another one there. His legs are gone. He's not going to leave. For goodness sake, we're like an old 1994 PlayStation game, how slow we are in midfield. That's how slow we are in midfield. That's how slow we are in midfield. It's absolutely madness how slow we are. And if we don't remove these players, we're just going to continue. We're just going to get slower. And that's the problem with Man United. That's the problem with Man United. It's getting really, really crazy right now in regards to trying to move on. In regards to transfers, etc. And at the end of the day, sorry, just some fly went in my screen. There. At the end of the day, it is crazy the way we're being run at the moment, and we have to be positive. We've got 2 weeks left of the transfer window, and at the end of the day, we have to hope and we have to pray that things do get better. At the moment, it doesn't bode well, does it? At the end of the day, we're not happy. A lot of the fan base are just really, really annoyed about this, and it's going to, people have every right to be annoyed because it's the experience. Big up this channel. Big up Abdullah Irwin, my friend. Thank you so much for joining the channel today. How are you feeling? Hope you're doing well. Where are you messaging me from today? Hope you're well. João Gomez or Andre. Both of them, mate. Both of them. I would love to have both of them. We need both of them. We've got a very, very small and weak squad. As you know, during the preseason, if that didn't give us a signal of how weak our squad is, there you go. That is how weak our squad is. We need more than one player. Mawia, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. This day, players are playing for money, and especially, they're playing for the money. They're not playing for the badge. As I said earlier in the show, when Eric Cantona thought he couldn't play for Manchester United anymore, what did Eric Cantona do? Eric Cantona left the club. Eric Cantona said, I cannot give 100% for the club. What did Gary Neville do? He left the club because he said, I cannot give 100% for the club. That is the mentality. They love the club, not themselves. Not just about their ego and their social media following. The dressing room need the real characters with right mentality, exactly, for us to change. Good point, undeniable, Dylan. Yes, the dressing room need winners. They need leaders. We have no leaders in that dressing room. We have no winner. I mean, Casemiro is a winner, but Casemiro looks like he's on his sunbed in the Bahamas at the end of the day. He looks like he's just on his retirement. I'm retiring soon, so let's forget it. I don't need to really play. I won 5 Champions Leagues. I don't really need to worry about it. That's the problem. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, mate. And thank you, man. Undeniable, Dylan. The Liverpool preseason game gave a reality check. It is a reality check for us. In regards to, we do not take the Liverpool game as gospel. We do not take it as seriously as some people are. But we have to pick out signs. We have to read the room. For goodness' sake, the elephant in the room is the squad. The elephant in the room is the squad. In regards to our squad is weak, and it showed. We have a few players out, and that second team are not good enough. For goodness' sake, we need more. And this is a cry to Ineos and to Jim Ratcliffe, the Glazers. Fix it, mate. Because at the end of the day, we need a midfield. We don't have a midfield, right? We don't have a midfield. Facts, United players need to play for the badge. They need to play for the badge, and they're not playing for the badge. They're playing for their wallets. They're playing for their social media following. That's what they're playing for. And I've been saying this for ages. A true player, Cambuala, right? We sold Cambuala because he didn't want to be on the bench. That's the sort of mentality that we need. We need players like Cambuala. I'm not happy. Very hard to watch all players with luck. Harry Shaw, Anthony Sancho, Mount Castle, all the players there, mates. Watch I come at a Real Madrid fan. Don't do that, mate. Don't say about you're going to become 1 more years and very hard to watch. You are a Man United fan. You do not stop being a Man United fan. You don't change football clubs. That's not how it works. We support the football club through thick and thin. Yes, we have our opinions, and that's what it's about. But you have to love your football club. Manchester United are more than a football club. Manchester United have more historical value than Real Madrid. There's so-called fans who have left to go support other clubs, but we don't do that at Fan, do we? We are Man United fans. We will support the club even if they're relegated. We will support them. We have to support them. You can't not support them at the end of the day. But we will fight to improve things. This is what we have to do. We have to fight to improve things, and we have to call it out how it is. I'm still hopeful within the next 2 weeks. Abdullah Irwin, Ericsson, Casemiro, Lindelof, Maguire, Pellistri need to be sold. Exactly, they need to be sold, but we're finding it hard to sell these players. It's a bit of a struggle at the moment in regards to moving these players. This is what's becoming difficult. Even Barca rejected Anthony. Yeah, he rejected, obviously, but De Jong is on 600,000 a week. We don't want De Jong either because De Jong didn't want to play for us last year, did he? And then when Barcelona want to sell him, then he suddenly wants to play for us. Yeah, Real Madrid fans is a joke. Real Madrid fans are jokes. Real Madrid fans, the majority of them are glory hunters. At the end of the day, we're not glory hunters. We're Man United fans. Real Madrid have been run like a machine for 100 years. They've never had a Glazer ownership like us. We were once better than Real Madrid, and I remember that. We were more successful. But now, since the Glazers have taken charge, they've just absolutely blown us away in regards to success because they've never had a Glazership ownership. We've had the worst ownership in history, unfortunately. Yeah, Man United forever. Win, lose or draw. Win, lose or draw. And this is why we're here. We support Man United, and we need to talk on how we can improve, how we can get up there with the Real Madrids of this world, because that's who we are, really. We're an elite football club with an historic history, with an amazing history, and that is what it's about. Now, in regards to transfers, Manchester United, after all said and done, should be getting De Ligt Mazraoui through the door this week. Manchester United have medicals planned for today, and hopefully these medicals will go through nice and sweetly. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is said to be after a bumper contract at West Ham. West Ham are a bit reluctant to give him the money he needs. Now, when I talk about mercenaries, there you go, exactly. He's got a chance to go to West Ham, a Premier League club, but he's asking for too much money. And this is another problem that we're having. You see, I want this much money. I want the same money as I'm getting at Manchester United. This is the problem that we're going to have. A West Ham United cannot afford that. It's a West Ham United, and this is the problem we're having. But still, we're hopeful that that deal will go through. If it doesn't go through this week and Mazraoui doesn't go through this week, we might as well pack up and leave. Because at the end of the day, we need these players through the door now. This is getting a bit of a joke at the moment. We're going to throw away the Charity Shield because we're not getting these deals through the door. As long as I don't win the EPL, as long as Man United don't win the EPL Champions League, Man United will win the EPL and they will win the Champions League again. Mark my words, fan, we will. We will. So will we. Glazer's out. Yeah, Glazer's out. Glazers need to leave. When the Glazers do leave, it'll be a lot easier to do a lot more bigger things at Manchester United. Glazers are the curse. They're the vermin of Manchester United. They're the bacteria of Manchester United. Same with Economical Maguire. Yeah, Economical Maguire is just sitting on his ass doing nothing and just waiting for that pay packet to come in. That's what he's doing, and he's waiting for that contract to run down, and it is annoying, to be honest. Donovan, good morning, my friend. Apologies, guys, but this culture of not leaving the club was created by the Glazers. Yes, Woodward and Murto bought the players and paid players too much, and now it's the norm. Exactly. It has changed slightly. We gave Xerxes 60, 70,000 a week, which is a nice, refreshing change for a player to get less than 3 digits a week, for 6 digits a week. It is nice for him to come in on 60, 70,000 a week. That culture is changing, but the old guard is a problem. The old guard is the issue. But in regards to De Ligt and Mazraoui, we should have them through the door this week. We hope there's some here we goes. Here we goes are close, as the title says. They are close. We are getting close to getting Mazraoui and De Ligt. But the elephant in the room is the midfield, and we need that midfield sorted as well. And we need it ASAP because our midfield is weak, and that is the engine of the team. Yes, there is a here we go incoming. I hope by Friday we'll have a here we go. If we don't have a here we go, I'm being told there's going to be a here we go. All right. Fabrizio Romano said a here we go is close. I believe so. It is close as well by Friday. By Friday. Facts, Donovan. Facts. Yep. At the end of the day, you are all smart people. Now, in regards to Lenny Yoro has been said to be out for 3 months. What did I say? I said on a couple of streams ago, a few streams ago, and we're getting into a debate. Lenny Yoro will be out for months, and he is out for months. As I said, I told you guys that he will be out for months. It's not going to be a week thing, couple of weeks thing. Hairline fracture. What is a metatarsal? Metatarsals are very, very dodgy. Wayne Rooney, David Beckham famously had metatarsal injuries. So if we have these players out, who's going to replace them? He's out for 3 months. It's very disappointing, of course. And then he's going to have to get back into full fitness. It's going to be hard. Rico, yeah, and Zubimendi would be nice. Obviously, Rico has a 90 million release clause apparently at Palmeiras. So at the end of the day, are we going to pay that? I don't think we're going to pay that. If we can't get Ugarte through the door, how are we going to get a Rico? Zubimendi is the one I would go for. 50 million release clause. He would be the one next than Ugarte. He's the one I would go for. But we seem to be missing out on everyone at the moment. So if we cannot afford to pay 50 million for Ugarte, how are we going to get Zubimendi for 50 million? It just doesn't give you a good feeling. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for entering the stream. Nice to have you here. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Don't forget to smash a like. Very important. I'm only 15 when I went on stream, 15 away from 3,000 subscribers. This is the Real Manchester United channel. We speak the truth and we do not sugarcoat things. So at the end of the day, we hope we get 2 players in. We do need a midfield enforcer in there. If we don't get a midfield enforcer in there, I'm not going to expect anything higher than top 4. But if we get a midfield enforcer in there, I expect us to challenge better. But we do need more. I said at the beginning of this transfer window, we needed 2 midfielders, 2. And we needed Mctominay, Casemiro, that gone. We needed 2. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it? And again, we are left with an underwhelming 4 out of 10, even less, 3 out of 10 transfer window. We needed to give Erik ten Hag the best tools possible to do the best job possible. How can he do his job well if he's not given the tools to do that job? He's still got players from the Mourinho, from the Van Gaal, from the Solskjaer era. He's still got players in that team from those eras. Serial losers, guys. Serial losers. He's still got them in the team. It's a madness when you're thinking about it. It's madness that we still have these players in the team. Now, In regards to Mctominay, of course, I've spoken to Mctominay. This is the dilemma we're having. Mctominay doesn't want to leave. Mctominay wants to prove himself. He said he wants another chance. How many chances does this guy have? Does this guy need? He said he wants to play. He wants to prove himself and get himself into the team. We do not want you, mate. It's time to move on. Time to move on, my friend. Time to move on. In regard, this is the whole issue, and this is the problems that we're having at Manchester United at the moment, which is offloading players, of course. Let me just read some of this private. You don't need to write a private comment, mate. Sal, I am backstage. Onana. Fix, yes, I'm going to try and get some people on very soon. I just need to bring up this news, of course, but at the end of the day, I need to vent my frustration at this Ineos regime at the moment. Things have slowed down, and we have less than 2 weeks to go to the start of the season. Remember, we have Manchester City on Saturday, and we have Fulham on the following Friday. Guys, if I can't get you in today, I will get you in on Chatterbox later on. Of course, I have to be out and about today, so I've got about 5 minutes to go through this, and I would definitely get you guys on. You guys are absolute legends for waiting by. Thank you, backstage. You can write comments on the normal one, because obviously I'm getting my setup set up so I can sort this out properly. But thank you guys for joining me today. It's very, very blessed to have you here. And what do you guys think then? What are your aspirations for the season? At the end of the day, I said that if we don't sign a midfielder, if we don't sign 2 defenders, we're screwed pretty much at the end of the day. Now, I'm going to, at this present time, what is Ten Hag's best team? I'm going to say it like this, right? If nothing happened, if we didn't sign no more players, right? This is Ten Hag's best team. Dalot, right back. Okay? Dalot, right back. Now, when you look at is Yoro, when he's fit, centre back. Let's forget about when players are fit. Let's think about now, right? If we didn't sign any players up until Man City and Fulham game, what is the best team? Right, Dalot, right back. Evans, right centre back. Licha, left centre back. Left back, Luke Shaw. Hopefully he's fit. Let's hope so. This is pray he's fit. Then we have Mainu in the midfield. Of course, we'll have Mainu. And then we'll have, I think we'll have Casemiro as the CDM. But I would give the young fella Oyedele a chance. I would. But it'd probably be Casemiro there. Garnacho left back. Ahmad right back. Xerxes up front, rotating with Rasmus. That's where it'd be with Bruno, the number 10, in my opinion. Maguire and Licha, you're going for Maguire and Licha. Yeah, it's not much balance in between them. It's not much. It could be Maguire, it could be Evans. It's very hard to say. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very hard to know. You know, to balance them out. Is it a Maguire? Is it a Evans? You know, either way, we should beat Fulham. We should beat Fulham, but against Man City, that's where I worry somewhat a little bit. I still think we could beat Man City. We did beat Man City without these players before. I think if we get our players fit and ready, we can beat Man City again. I still believe that. We didn't have Xerxes, we didn't have Yoro, we didn't have Mazraoui, we didn't have De Ligt against Man City last season in the FA Cup final. So let's hope we can do a similar job on Man City this year. Let's hope. Let's really hope, guys. You guys are absolute legends for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. That would be absolutely fantastic if you guys can do that. Ahmed left. Ahmed left. You put Ahmed on the left. I'll play Ahmed on the right, and I'll play Garnacho on the left. I would. I think Garnacho is coming into his own. He done very well at the Copa America. He's a generational. You'll see Garnacho next season strengthened up as well. He's bulked up. He's going to be good next season. He's going to be an absolute baller next season. We can be looking forward to Garnacho and Ahmed next season, because that is a very good wing-in partnership. But one thing I would say, they need to learn how to cross the ball. They need to learn how to assist, because with these strikers, with Xerxes and Rasmus, they need supply. They need chances, and we're not getting chances for the wings. So hopefully we worked on those things, because we were not creating chances last season. That's why we were not getting goals. We need that. Looking forward to seeing Bruno coming back, of course. I'm looking forward to that, of course. I'm looking forward to Bruno, the captain, marvellous, coming back. And obviously we miss him when he doesn't play. But we do need backup for Bruno, of course. We do need backup for him. We cannot have just Bruno wearing him out and playing him out to the ground every single game. We need other players to come in to do a job of the same sort of quality. Unfortunately, we don't have that at the moment. We have a young kid, Collier. We cannot put too much pressure on the lad. He's a good player, but we cannot put too much pressure on him. I hope he does get some games next season, though. I do really hope. I hope we see some of them in the Charity Shield on Saturday, and I hope some of them impress, because it is always great to see young players coming through. Irfan, yeah. Definitely. It's always great to see young players coming through, of course. But I would play Garnacho and I would play Ahmad. I would not play Rashford and I would not play Sancho. That's just the way I feel about it. But likely, Erik ten Hag will play Rashford and he will play Sancho. It looks that way, doesn't it? At the end of the day. Or he could move Sancho into the false number 9 position, which Sancho played a year ago before he done the infamous tweet out to the world, of course, but he could play the false number 9 against Manchester City. But as long as we got Garnacho back, as long as we got Ahmed in there, we're okay. We're stacked on that position. We're okay. It's the midfield I worry about a lot. I do worry about that midfield. Now, Manchester United, in regards to Amrabat, could be set to sign Amrabat, of course. This could be their backup plan. This is their backup plan all along. They're going to get, ta-da, it's like Scooby-Doo again. They're going to take off the mask. We got Amrabat. Yes, of course. We knew we were getting Amrabat anyway. Amrabat should be through the door anyway, with another midfielder, not just Amrabat. Amrabat should be staying at Manchester United now, especially if we do not sign an Ugarte. We need Amrabat to stay at the end of the day. And I believe in Amrabat, and I will support Amrabat. Is he as good as Ugarte? Well, I'm not too sure about that. I just feel like we just have to support who we have. We have to support our own. And at the end of the day, if Amrabat stays, that's good. We need Amrabat to stay now if we do not get a midfielder. But I did say we needed 2 midfielders in there, which hasn't materialised, of course, which is sad, because at the end of the day, we want to give Ten Hag the best opportunity possible to win things and to challenge next season, because I believe with the right transfers, we can challenge next season. And if we got the targets we were after, we could challenge next season, especially with the players that we have available now. We will sign De Ligt and we will sign Bazzaruri. That's good. That's great. We do need those players through the door, of course. We do. But I'm not going to count my chickens until it is a here we go and it is all done and dusted, those 2 players. But that is the bare minimum. Let's not forget, that is the bare minimum in regards to Manchester United and transfer this season. We needed a midfielder. We needed even an attacker as well. We needed a left back, a left-sided centre-back. We don't have them. We're going to have to wait till next year, most likely, to get those players. Our squad is still not strong enough. But as long as we can implement players like Harry Amas into the team, if we can implement him into the left-back position, I believe these players are good enough. They are a brilliant youth team. Those players were playing for a brilliant youth team last season. I believe they can come through and they can take their chances. Remember, we are about youth, courage, success. That's what we are about. So it is important to bring the youth players through as well. Odinay in midfield, I would bring him in. I would put him on the bench and bring him in every now and then. Harry Amas the same, bring him in every now and then. Collier every now and then. Murray as well. These players, Bennett as well. Of course, Rice Bennett. I'm a big fan of Rice Bennett. He's a very, very good player, a very good young player. I'm telling you right now, Uncle Sal's going to tell you that Bennett is going to break through next season and he's going to be mate. Let's not get twisted. It's been a horrendous window. Sam, it has been, and I'm trying to keep it upbeat, but it's demoralising at the end of the day, Sam. I know. We haven't had the best window at all. It hasn't been the best. It started well, but it's just slowly turning into a Glazer window, isn't it? It's slowly turning into a Glazer window, and that's exactly what we don't want. But I'm going to think about the young players in regards to coming in. We're not going to challenge for the league title with this squad. We need a bigger squad. I believed if we signed the players that we were after, if we sort out our midfield, we sort out our defence, there is a good chance we can. But at the moment, it's top 4. And I don't want just top 4. I want us to be challenging for that league title. I do. The Glazers sign the checks. They're the ones who get clear. They're the ones who put the final say on transfers. And at the end of the day, they're the ones who are holding us back. It's the Glazers. Ineos' responsibility in this is that they purchased the club on a 27.5%, which we didn't need. We needed a full sale, Glazers out, debt cleared, FFP, Kushti, done and dusted. Players, not good enough. Pay out your contract, goodbye. Pay out your contract, goodbye. That's what we needed. But we can't even do that because we can't afford it. Sadly, isn't it? It's ridiculous at the moment because we have such high hopes for every season. And I do not want us to throw away another season. Just forget about throwing away another season. Long term, we are costing ourselves more money than spending a bit of few bob in the transfer window on Ugarte. You know, we're costing ourselves more money that way. We are a Champions League competing team. We're not a Europa League team. Yeah, we seem to be in the Europa League team for the last few years, haven't we? We need to be a Champions League competing team. That's who we are. Right, and to do that, we need the players in. And Ineos, this is a cry for you right now. This is a message for you right now. We're not going to take this. You know, we're not going to take this mediocrity. We know what's going on. Our fan base is smart. We know what's going on. Do you think the squad's good enough to get top four? Look at teams like West Ham, Villa having great windows. It could be 6 cents. Sad, I know, but it's fact. Well, not quite facts, but it is a possibility. It's Sam, you know. And at the end of the day, unless we are giving the tools, the ammunition, our first team, right? Our first team is good. Let's not get it twisted. It's good. Garnacho, Ahmed, Rasmus, Højlund, Bruno, Casemiro, Mainu, Licha. We're going to have Yoro in there with Dalot and Mazraoui, and then we have left back. We have Shaw. It's better than a lot of those teams. To be honest with you, we should finish top four. Those players are good enough. But as you said, those teams have improved. I'm not sure about West Ham. Some of their players are okay, they've signed. But at the end of the day, they've improved. And it's got to be more difficult next season to challenge. Of course, it gets harder every season, of course. It does. It does get harder every season. Now, let me bring in one of my guests, my friend. I'm going to bring in one guest. He's been waiting a while, my friend. And I'm going to bring him in. Let me just get this up. Yeah, go for it, mate. How's it going? I can't hear anyone at the moment. Yeah, I couldn't hear him, but anyway, don't worry about that. At the end of the day, you can come in next show. Don't worry about it. I've got a few minutes left on this show, so I have to go through the last bit of news here. So at the end of the day, Manchester United should get De Ligt and they should get Mazraoui through the door. They should be able to get those players through the door this week. We should have a here we go this week. It should be happening. Now, Yoro has been declared injured for 3 months. And of course, that is until he gets fit as well. So it could be longer. I did say it's going to be months. I did say, guys, a week ago, it's going to be months. And it is going to be months, isn't it? There you go, guys. Ugarte, Manchester United look to be walking away from that deal. We have spoken about that. Very disappointed about that. Very angry about that, of course. Very disappointed because he's a good player. He's a sort of player we need. This is due to players not leaving. Of course, Mctominay wants to stay and fight for his place. He wants to prove himself. We've had enough of that proving himself business. Prove yourself by winning titles, mate. That's all I care about. Do you know what I mean? Prove yourself when you go challenging for the Champions League, for the Europa League. Go out there and win things, mate. Stop talking about, I'm going to prove myself for the 7th year in a row. Come on, mate. You know, we're fed up with that. Leave. You're not good enough. Do what Cantona did, what Gary Neville did. When they felt they couldn't give 100%, they left. You know, they left. They thought about the club first, and that's what it's all about. It's about the club. It's about the club, not your pockets, not your social media following. It's about the club at the end of the day. And that's all I care about in this football world. But, of course, the fan base will get happy if we do bring in Mazraoui and De Ligt. But rest assured, I'm not going to be over the moon. I'll be happy, but I'm not going to be ecstatic because I know that it's not enough. It's not enough, guys. We need more. We need more. We need more than just a Mazraoui and De Ligt. De Ligt is basically a replacement for Yoro, isn't he? Because Yoro is injured now. So he's basically a replacement for Yoro. So let's say we've got one more, which is Mazraoui, you know, which is obviously we've got a Dalot. So he's not a priority, is he? At the end of the day, it's just we need that midfield sorted first. Do you know what I mean? We need that midfield sorted. Yes, you bring in De Ligt to cover Yoro. But I would say we need the midfield more priority than Mazraoui. I do. I think we need that enforcer in midfield because we missed that enforcer. We need to wrap up Martinez up in the cotton wool this season, so he's so important. He is. Martinez is our best player, in my opinion. I'm going to say it like that. He's our best player. He's the only player in the last, I say, since the Sir Alex Ferguson days, I would say I would like him in my team. He's the only player that will get in the 99-9 squad. I think he's that good. I do. I think he's such a good player. On that left side, the centre-back, he's such a good player, and when he's missing, we miss him. Which is why I wanted a Branthwaite. We needed an Ignacio, someone of that ilk who can cover him when he's injured, who can rest him when we can wrap him up in cotton wool sometimes. At the moment, we can't wrap him up in cotton wool. We don't have any cotton wool buds. We have nothing left. We have to play him every single game. And then he ends up getting injured because the way his game is, he's a very, very tenacious, aggressive player. So he can get injured. He can twist his knee. He can twist his to get muscle injuries. That's the way Martinez plays. That's the way he is. So we need someone who can come in as cover for him sometimes, to rest him sometimes. And we need that for Bruno as well. As I said, this is why I was an advocate for Olmo, because Olmo would have been brilliant to rotate with Bruno, but Olmo looks like he's going to Barcelona now. So at the end of the day, our squad is weak. Let's face it. Let's face the facts. Our squad is weak, and we do need more. We do need more. Absolutely need more in there. And hopefully we've got 2 weeks of the window to go. It's not all doom and gloom yet, but it is getting concerning. We need to wait until these 2 weeks are up. And then if these 2 weeks are up and we still haven't got a sufficient amount of players in there, then we can start saying what we feel, really what we feel. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to say Ineos out and this and that. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon, but it's in their court. The ball is in their court. It's up to them. If they want to show us what they're made of, show us what you're made of. Ineos are $1 billion, trillion business, right? Okay? So Jim Ratcliffe is a billionaire, right? Then do the billionaire stuff. Go and do it then. Because we don't want empty billionaires in our club. You might as well get Mr. Blobby in charge of Man United at the end of the day. Yeah, we need players. We need managers and owners who are ownerships who's gonna put their money where their mouth is and show us what you're doing. Thank you for building the academy. Brilliant, good start. But what's going to happen on the pitch in the immediate future? Because without the pitch, right? What's going on the pitch? We don't have profits. What does that mean? That means it's a domino effect of negativity. That means you don't have profit going forward. That means we do not have money going forward. Because the more you are bad on the pitch, the more you're bad in finances. So at the end of the day, it's better that you invest the money on the pitch first, then get the team winning, and then we can invest in other things that are important. For example, the pitch is the most important thing. What happens on the pitch is the most important thing. You want money, you need to win on the pitch. You can put your money in the academy, fantastic. You can put the money in the stadium, fantastic. But there's no point doing that if we're going to become like Middlesbrough. If we're going to become like a mediocre team. Build the team on the pitch like Real Madrid did. Make the team the best team in the world, and then build up together as we go along. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. That's all I'm saying. We need a good team. We need a good squad. That's what is missing at the moment. Manchester United are missing a squad. And we don't have it at the moment. I am absolutely petrified if we do not bring in a midfielder this season. If we don't get Mazraoui and De Ligt through the door this week, God forbid, God, at the end of the day, it will be an absolute worry, wouldn't it? And we don't want that stress, do we? We want to go into the Fulham game, the Man City game on Saturday, and the Fulham game the following Friday, remember? We want to go into that game in confidence, buoyed that we've got these players in and we're going to smash Fulham out the park. That's what I want. I want us to start the league campaign, 5 wins in a row, including a win against Liverpool Old Trafford. They can take their friendly win. They can take that. But I am after that win in the opening games of the season. And to do that, we need players in. We need Ten Hag to have the tools to do that. And I believe Ten Hag can beat Liverpool in the opening games. And if we beat Liverpool in the opening games, that is going to set us up for the rest of the season. But, of course, Fulham first. Fulham are going to be smelling blood. If there's a negativity around the club, Fulham will be smelling blood, of course. They will be wanting to show Manchester United up, of course. They'll be wanting to show Ineos up, of course. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. And by bringing players in and giving the place a boost, it is the most. It will give us a fuel to go out there and smash Fulham 5-1, of course. It's sad here in United are pulling out of the guards. Yeah, Kingdom, it is sad. It's absolutely devastating at the moment. I wouldn't say it's dead in the water. We can still come back with another bid. Don't be surprised if we do come back for another bid, because at the end of the day, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to wait until the last week of the season, and then when it comes to a day, we're going to panic and pay more for him. How much is Sir Jim Ratcliffe's net worth? Jim Ratcliffe is an asset guy. He has assets worth billion. This is one thing that I touched upon over the months. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted a full sale, Glazers out. I wanted the debt cleared, and that's what I wanted. We won't smash it. United never score more than 4 goals in a game under Ten Hag. But let's see what happens, Chow. That's my prediction. I believe that's my prediction. I believe we'll win 3-0 or 5-1. That's my prediction, Chow. You can come back at me after the game. You can come back to me. But that's my prediction for the game at the end of the day. But let me say that. That's if we get the midfield. That's if we get defenders in. That's if we get the transfers that I want in the club. I believe Xerxes will score a brace on his debut. I don't know about that, but I feel like he will score a couple on his debut. That would be absolutely brilliant, of course. Guys, you're absolutely brilliant today. It's always great talking to you lot. You're like my wake-up call. You know, you're like my wake-up call early in the morning, my cornflakes early in the morning. It's brilliant to have you guys here with me on the show. Please don't forget to smash a like. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Many times in the Liverpool game, United press were broken down because Cassie did not get at the same time with his staying partner. At the end of the day, we're a mess in regards to we have a bunch of players that are misplaced. We don't have players who suit the system. And I just don't think Casemiro and other midfielders within our team suit the system at the end of the day. I think Manu suits the system. I just think Casemiro doesn't quite get the system. I don't think he works in the system. I think that we need another player. I would bring a young player in at the end of the day. I would not bring Mctominay in there. I just think I'd have the most selfish wingers in the league. Yeah, exactly, Chow. Exactly what I was putting on a couple of minutes ago in regards to our wingers. Our wingers need to learn how to cross. They need to learn how to create. And this goes for every single one. I'm talking about Sancho, I'm talking about Rashford, I'm talking about Garnacho, I'm talking about Ahmed, I'm talking about Anthony. At the moment, we have wingers who are more intent on cutting in and shooting than scoring goals and creating for our strikers. This is something we need to address. We need to stop the cut in and shoot. And the only way we do that is by playing players in their natural positions. Play players, right-footed players on the right, left-foot players on the left. Then they have no choice but to cross and to give chances to the attacking players. Because at the moment, the right footers want to play on the left because they want to cut in and they want to shoot. And this is not what Manchester United are about. Manchester United are about creating and being unselfish in regards to creating goals for their fellow players. At the moment, we just want players who cut in and shoot. We don't have players who take on their man on the outside. We don't have overlapping runs in regards to the fullbacks, because if you have overlapping runs, that sort of is better. But at the end of the day, you can have a right-footed player on the left, but when the player shoots, where is the overlapping run on the left for the fullbacks to overlap? We don't do that, and that means we don't create for the strikers. We have players who cut in and shoot. And to be honest with you, even I could defend that. It's very easy to read, very easy. Players don't like it when you take them on the outside and cut and run into the box. They hate that. Players don't like it when you cross the ball. Players don't like a Beckham-esque cross coming in all of a sudden, and you can't defend it. You know, then you've got Rasmus attacking it and Xerxes attacking it. The players don't like that. Players love it when you cut in. It's easy for them. It's easy, especially if you don't have the wing backs who are bombing forward. You know. Davishish, how you doing, my friend? Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I've just been touching on the show in regards to Ugarte. United may pull out of the deal. Manchester United should have Mazraoui and Delic wrapped up this week. Definitely, 100%. Hope so. Should be here we go this week. I hope so. Charles, like you said, if our wingers don't cross, chances for our strikers, tell them to do that. Ten Hag does. Ten Hag in his previous managerial roles, he does. And also, it's not just about Ten Hag, it's about Ruud van Nistelrooy and Rennie Hake as well. At the end of the day, those are the coaches. And Ten Hag knows. Ten Hag has blatantly said it before last season. We need to create more for the strikers. And if the players are not doing that, this is why they get hacked off. And they have been hacked off during this pre-season as well. So at the end of the day, we do need to create more chances for the strikers. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolutely brilliant show. A pleasure to join you guys today. You guys to join me today. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget, I'm only a few from 3,000 subscribers. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to smash a like. You guys are absolute legends. I'll be back later for Chatterbox. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Absolutely. Ball knowledge up here. The ball knowledge is just crazy. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you so much. I'll be here later on for Chatterbox. Hopefully we get some news. Here we go. You never know. Let's wait and see. Guys, thank you so much. By the way, I will get people on the chat. I'll get people in. I'll add them to the stage. Just have to fit it in, of course. I'll try my best to do that, of course. So, guys, thank you so much. You guys are absolute legends. All the best. Have a great day. Peace.